to Dancing in the Kitchen, a cooking show with a twist. On this show, we inspire and empower women to nourish themselves inside and out through healthy food, music, dance, and a lot of fun, so that we can all experience more joy in our lives. I am so excited to be in a new place today. This California girl is on the East Coast. I'm in a different kitchen, not the usual spot for our show. And let me tell you why. As a cultural dance ambassador, I'm often hired to perform for cultural events all over the country, including weddings. I'm here on the East Coast performing with Ballet Afsane, and we are a company in the San Francisco Bay Area that specializes in dances of the Silk Road. That is dance from Central Asia. If you're curious about the rich cultural legacy of Central Asian dance, check out episode 7 of Dancing in the Kitchen, where you'll have a chance to meet two of my colleagues, Natalie Nayun and Tara Pandya. But back to today, I am delighted to be featuring a special guest, and I'm actually in her kitchen. Lisa Jones. Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
Lisa Jones is the host of Women Winning the Game of Life, a high-energy weekly show that helps women rewrite the rules, reclaim their power, and have way more fun doing it. A speaker, author, and humorist, Lisa brings decades of experience in gamification, wellness, and stand-up comedy to each and every episode. Whether she's breaking down playful productivity or spotlighting inspiring women, Lisa is on a mission to prove that fun is a serious business strategy.
Yes.
Lisa, I want to say I'm honored to have you as a guest on Dancing in the Kitchen, but this is kind of funny because I'm a guest in your kitchen today.
Yes, you are, and I'm so happy that you're here.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for hosting the show. I'm really excited to take the show on the road, and this is the very first episode of Dancing in the Kitchen on the road. And I just love what you do because you're about fun and the empowerment that comes through fun and the creativity. I was driving here from New York City and thinking about this relationship between gamification and gaming and creativity and how intertwined they are. And I would love to hear more about what you do, what kind of services you provide to your clients, and really what your mission is.
Yes. Well, my my overall mission is to have more fun. So if it's not fun, is it really worth doing is my question. So that's why I say the whole thing about fun is really a strategy.
Yeah.
So what I offer to women, and actually it's not just women, it's pretty much corporations, companies. I get hired a lot by corporations and companies, and to go in, I consult with them, I do speaking, as you mentioned, but my main thing is when I go in there is I try to increase their productivity and their profits. But how do I do that? I do that by injecting fun and games, and we just have a lot of fun together, and that's when people really bond better together.
What are some of the outcomes that you've seen from doing this kind of work?
Well, there's so many. I mean, take for example, there could be two people that sit next to each other and work together for a decade that I put together in an improv training, and they're all of a sudden best friends because they didn't realize that they had something in common. Like, you just go to work every day, you work your 9 to 5, and you don't think. It's not until these games really let people let their guard down and establish better trust and openness with each other, and they're having fun while they're doing it. And then they realized, oh my God, this whole time I like Kevin. I didn't realize that he was kind of a cool guy. And sitting across from him didn't say much besides good morning. Is that your 5th cup of coffee? You know, so I think that's really helpful in doing those kind of things because everyone gets to be involved together. It's something that you're doing together, kind of like cooking.
Yes,
So we're doing
like
it together, you
cooking.
have more fun.
Yes. I was thinking while you were talking about that, about dancing, about partner dancing, and how when you're dancing or when you're cooking, or really when you're engaged in any art form, there are rules.
Yes.
And it's about playing and finding and improvising within the rules, the structure of the rules. And that's so fun and stimulating. Like I think about my cat. We were talking about cats a little earlier. And when I dangle the cat toy in front of the cat's just like, nah, you gotta do better than that. But when I put a barrier, like a chair in between, and I dangle it on the other side, the cat's like, oh, yeah, now I gotta figure something out. There's a problem I have to solve. How do I get to it? And even animals have that impulse to solve a problem and to have fun doing it.
And that's I mean, that's basically what I'm doing, and that's something that I've done since my childhood. So I would walk to school and I would think like, how can I wasn't always good at math. How could I be better at math? And I would basically create games in order to teach myself to be better at math and learn to like it. So even subjects like history, sometimes my history teachers would be, let's just say, not as fun as I would like. And by the fifth period of school, whenever the history class was, I'd be like, this is not as fun. I would make a game. Like, how can I make what we're learning more fun? So just creating games around everything. And that's how I solved my problems when I was a kid. But then I took that into my adulthood, and that's really my calling. What I do all the time is anytime somebody has a problem, I find a game that solves it.
So how did you come to that when you were young? Because that is, what a strategy, what a resource.
Well, it started with a game called Miss Pac-Man.
Oh,
so as a kid, I would play Miss Pac-Man all the time, and I would like, how can I beat the level that I'm on? So it was always like creating strategy around that, and that's when I learned that I really could use this as a strategy. So the whole game thing became my strategy for solving problems.
You know what I love about that too is it puts you in a position of empowerment, because some parts of life are boring. Sometimes we have boring teachers, and you can't go through life saying, oh, I hate history. I had a boring teacher, and therefore history sucks and I'm never going to be good at it, or whatever. You can't make that excuse. You find a way to make whatever your experiences work for you so you can get something positive out of it. And that's a terrific strategy.
Yeah. I mean, the positive, so sorry, Mr. Simpson, if you were listening to this. I wasn't talking about your history class, but I did make it much more enjoyable that way. So and a lot of times that's how we have to have engaged learners. So how else can we engage them? So then years later, when I taught at a university, I would play games with them. Like I would put the content into, whether it be a Wheel of Fortune game, we would play different games that would be fun, or what's that other game? I'm trying to remember now, Jeopardy. So we played that, and they would get points. So like anytime you can gamify something, people were like, oh, I can't miss that class, or I have to pay attention. And then they would, because you put them in teams, it would be so fun to see like the room light up with their different teams, and like how like they would be cohesive. And then the ones that were on certain teams, like over the course of the semester, like how they were just like, they become like best friends just because they were in these competitions together.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, so it's kind of had like a benefit of bringing, like increasing morale and things like that. So that translates not from just a university setting, but also to corporations and just basically any team that you're trying to improve.
Right. Like what you were saying about, what you're saying about working on something together, and how that creates a bond, and you get to know people in a different way. It's not just the routine of, hey, how many cups of coffee did you have, and all of that. What did inspire you to pursue your line of work? It was these experiences you were saying earlier about, So that's been with you all along.
Yeah, all along. So the first thing I actually did was I went to school I wanted to go to school to be an actress. and I wanted to
Okay.
move to New York, and my parents were like, no, don't do that. Like, that's hard. You got to get something. You got to have something to fall back on. So, what is going to be your fall back on it career?
Oh, those reasonable parents who are looking
yes.
out for us.
And then I said, okay,
Yeah.
fine. I'm really into, like, the other thing I like to do is eat.
Ah.
Yeah. So that's how
love
I
it.
got to be a dietitian. I was like, I'm going to go and I'm going to study nutrition. So that's how I got the dietitian thing. And then that's how I got the teaching, because right after I got my master's degree, I decided to teach at a one of the things I decided to do was teach at a university. And then my university students said to me on my evaluations, they would just write funny. Like, because I would be telling them jokes and things like that. And then one of them said, you should go take a stand-up comedy class.
Oh, how funny.
And I was like, challenge accepted. Because anytime someone makes a suggestion like you with the dance, now I'm going
Right.
to probably go do it.
Yay.
So thank you, Hannah. So that's how I got into doing what I was doing. And then when I was speaking like on nutrition topics, they would all say the same thing, like, oh yeah, this is really funny. So then I was like, how can I combine all of this stuff together? And that's how I got to do the consulting, but specifically with what I love is the humor, play, and gamification.
That's what an interesting path. I love that. And I didn't know, or maybe you told me before, but I forgot that your background is in, you were a dietitian.
Yeah.
Wow, this is meant to be. And you were teaching in a university. You were
Yeah.
teaching nutrition.
I taught community nutrition. I taught intro to nutrition. I taught a food service
Wow.
management class, a communications class.
So what games around nutrition did you incorporate?
Well, back then it was a lot of, I was obsessed with the Jeopardy game.
Uh-huh.
So I would just take the Jeopardy game, like take the formula to it, but create different nutrition questions for it in different categories. So I'd make up the categories, and then the class loved it. That was like their favorite part.
So there's entertainment food and there's healthy food. I like entertainment food, like when you go to the movies or you're flying on an airplane or you're driving, food you can munch on. Entertainment food. Or you're having dinner with friends. And something that's really good entertainment food is chocolate cake.
Yes.
Yeah.
My favorite, actually.
Yes. And I hear your daughter loves chocolate cake.
She does. She likes anything chocolate.
Great. And strawberries.
Strawberries.
Yeah, well, this is a great day because we're going to make a chocolate strawberry cake. But we're going to break the rules because we're going to add some other ingredients that normally aren't included. Are you ready?
I am.
Fantastic. All right, these are the ingredients that we're going to add.
It does not look like a strawberry, Hannah.
Oh, the strawberries will come.
Okay.
Yeah. So first of all, we have half of a box of, this is gluten-free chocolate cake mix.
Okay.
So we're just doing like a little cake. If you don't have an egg, or if you're avoiding eggs for whatever reason, you can use a teaspoon of baking powder instead of an egg. Just a fun tip, yeah? Because I hear eggs are really expensive these days. Baking powder is still cheap.
And that's baking powder, not baking soda.
Baking powder, not baking soda.
Because I didn't have the baking powder.
But you had an egg, so all is well. And
I like the dance to the trash.
so when you get a cake mix, what does it tell you to add?
Eggs.
It tells you to add an egg. What else does it tell you to add?
Sometimes, depending on the mix, water. Butter, maybe. It depends on what kind of cake you're making.
Oil or water?
Oil,
Yeah.
yeah.
Instead of, now this is really interesting because if you watch my show, you know I have this amazing manual food processor that makes it really easy to grade, but you have no idea how heavy my luggage was, so I just couldn't bring it. Why don't you grade some carrot? We're gonna add some apple and carrot to our cake. We're also gonna add some beets. Do you like beets?
Yes.
Okay, if you don't, it's okay, I'll convert you.
Well, it doesn't matter because I really won't taste them because I'm going to taste the chocolate.
Exactly. We want you to have your cake and eat it too.
There you go. So my question to you, Hannah,
Yes.
is do you tell the kids that you put all this stuff in and you say, here's your chocolate cake? What should we do?
They don't taste it. And sometimes, because I make this cake in front of kids a lot, or I might, I'll be making it for the parents and the kids will see. And so often they will eat it anyway. Sometimes they won't know, and they don't taste it. Now, I recommend this will work with any kind of cake mix except the broccoli. Leave the broccoli out if you're not doing chocolate.
Broccoli out if no chocolate.
Yeah, so we're going to add some cabbage. Yes, cabbage. And we make it fun.
We're dancing.
We're doing dance moves. So we affectionately call this compost cake. But don't tell your kids that.
You told me it was called salad cake.
Sure. Now, you want the cake mix to be not too wet. And it's hard to not make it too wet because it's so fun grating vegetables.
And the vegetables have a lot of liquid water content in them. So,
Exactly.
And that's a really good call out that you just made, because as we were at the beginning of this part, because I didn't know what you were going to be doing next.
Yes.
I was like, don't you need, in my head I'm thinking, don't you need to add some sort of liquid? But you did not need to do that.
Nope. Yeah, isn't that amazing?
I think the viewers need to see that.
Yeah, I'm going to bring this over here. Look at that. No need for liquid.
Yeah.
It's just vegetables and cake mix. There. And actually, because we added an egg, it's a little wetter than
Than it
normal.
normally would be?
So I'm going to add a little more cake mix. I forgot to account for that. Okay, I think that's good enough. So let's get this stuff out of the way. I'm sure we'll find a good use for all this. And you can do this with really any vegetables. Beets, apple, carrot, celery, cabbage. What else did I put in? Broccoli, zucchini. This is an upside down cake. So we're putting strawberries on the bottom of the pan. And then we're putting the cake mix on top. Now there is sugar in the cake mix because it's a premix. And then we're going to go ahead and cook this. It's going to be about 16 minutes on the stove top. But this cookware acts as an oven, so you're actually baking on the stove top. You can also just cook in your normal bakeware in the oven. It'll take a little longer. Let's talk food, because we've been talking about dance. And of course, we're talking about fun and games and how to gamify life. And I want to ask you, especially because you have a background as a dietitian, so that's really, really interesting. How do you make cooking fun?
Well, I make sure it's a game. I know
I had a feeling.
You're shocked by that answer that I just said, but yes, I have to gamify everything, including brushing my teeth. So.
Oh, wow. I want to.
There's a whole thing. I have my daughter on the gamification path. She likes to.
Yeah?
Well, kids love games, but yeah, she does it to a 2-minute timer as she watches the sand drain out of it.
That is a game.
But
right?
with cooking,
The sand's going through the.
Yeah, so we made,
great.
I like to, she has her own little kid apron that she puts on and she likes to help out. But yeah, it's a whole, we have you remember that Candyland game?
Yes.
So it's kind of like a Candyland thing that I downloaded from, there's this, in the UK there's this guy that runs a campaign. I do not remember his name right now, but it's like Power Veggies or something like that. And you can download that for the kids to get more veggies. So it's one way that I try to help her make sure she's getting enough veggies. But it's a game that we play. So as we're cooking, she gets to check off the different things off of the like Candyland structure.
I love that. That's great.
Yeah, I mean, you can make your own, but I just happened to see this at a conference I was at, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. They have a bunch of resources for kids.
Do you have your own resources?
So for her, like I make up different games, so it depends on what we're doing. And then I'll say to her, you make up a game. What game should we play with this? So the other day, the game that she made up was a cereal game. And she got a bunch of different cereals, and she put them in the cup, and then I had to guess which cereal was in the cup. And then if I guessed it right, it got into my bowl. But if I didn't guess it right, I didn't get that cereal into my bowl. So I was like, okay, this is a fun game, but now Mommy's getting hungry. So.
What about spices? I teach kids classes, and I like to do, like, have spices and have them guess.
Yeah, that one's a fun one.
It is fun.
And the little cups are cute, though.
The little cups are cute.
But I like this, so that's a different sensory, the smell.
Yeah. You know what? Speaking of spices, can we trade places?
Yeah.
Let's do a little dance.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So, not as good as you, Hannah. I'm trying to shimmy over.
It's not about being good, though. It's not about being good. You don't have to be good.
You don't have to be a good dancer to dance in the kitchen. I like that.
No, right? Okay, be careful. This is warming up.
Okay.
Because we're going to play a game. But we were talking about spices, and so when I travel, I bring a lot of things that have to do with food. And I love travel containers. And we're going to play a game.
Okay.
And we're going to play, you're good with playing a game, right?
No, I'm just kidding. I love games.
I thought you'd be okay with it. So we're going to play a game called One-Pot Roulette. Okay. And we're going to take turns. One pot. That's our pot.
Okay.
We're going to take turns adding ingredients to the pot. Do you remember the book Stone Soup?
Yes.
That was a good one, wasn't it? Yeah. If you don't remember, some guy comes into a village and he's like, we're going to make a soup. And I'm going to put in the first ingredient. He didn't have any money. He put the first ingredient into the pot, and it was a stone. And then people are like, oh, I think I have some green onion that would go good with that. Put it in. Oh, I think I have some garlic that would go good with that. And everyone from the village kept coming and putting things in the pot. And before they knew it, they had an amazing soup that the whole village shared. I think it was something like that. Yeah. So we're going to do that. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
So I just pulled this pot out of my suitcase. And I have other things in my suitcase.
What's in the suitcase?
Okay, I have a suitcase. And, but you should put the first ingredient.
Okay, so it could be anything?
It can be anything.
I want to put in an olive.
Ooh, an olive.
A couple olives.
That was so unexpected.
I got 2 olives in there.
I love that.
One for you, one for me, Hannah.
That's great. Or 2 for you. Okay, I love the olives. Now, what am I going to put in? Well, I'm just pulling things out of my bag. Oh, I have some dates.
Dates and olives.
Right? Why not? And we are going to eat this.
I do like some dates.
Okay, so we have 2 dates and 2 olives. One for you, one for me. What's next?
I've got some green beans in here.
Oh, green beans. I love that. All right.
I'll do a couple green beans.
Okay.
Cooking up.
This is looking fantastic. What's in my suitcase? Oh, I have some polenta.
That goes well.
Yes. Let me see how this cake is doing. Ooh, I might be burning the cake because you've got a beautiful, strong stove. In fact, I probably did. But that's okay.
I'm sure it'll be delicious. Burnt cake.
Yeah, burnt cake. Multitasking. So, okay, you have some olive, some oil. Oh, I'm liking this.
Looking pretty good.
Yeah, it sure is. I'm going to put 4 pieces. Isn't this fun?
Yeah, I may actually want to eat this.
I know. I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out, but so far it looks promising.
Are we doing the lemon?
Yeah. Oh, should we?
Lemon.
Okay. I'm going to turn it up just slightly. A little squeeze of lemon. Oh, this is good. All right, your turn.
I got some pepper jack cheese, Hannah.
Ooh, pepper jack cheese. Let's do it. Why not? Perfect. I have some pumpkin seeds. Do you like pumpkin seeds?
I do.
I'm going to add some pumpkin seeds.
I've got some garlic butter.
Some garlic butter.
I do.
Let's do it.
That seems to be more than we needed, but maybe that would be good.
Well, butter is always good, right?
Yes. You can't go wrong adding butter.
We're getting back to my spices.
We need some spices.
We do. Dun, 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 dun. These are my travel spices. Yeah.
They're much better. They take less room up than that.
Oh, I have a huge, oh, that's lovely. I love that. I love that. Let's show it off. There we go. I love that. Do you like smoked paprika?
Yeah.
Okay. Like that. There we go. Your turn.
Well, I was going to get a spice too,
Okay.
but I think I may just get some pepper.
Some pepper. Pepper's a great idea.
And pepper has been added.
Pepper has been added. Well, you know, we have some veggies left over from our cake. Yes, let's add those. Why not?
It's looking good, Hannah.
Oh, it's smelling good. You got the butter. I love that.
I don't know what we're going to call it, but
Ooh. We're going to come
name
up
it
with
something.
a good name. Or a fun name.
Can polenta? I don't know.
Can polenta? I love it. You do know that means that we need to do the can.
Yeah.
Again, from the waist down, right? We're doing the can.
Can.
All right, we're going to tuck those around there.
Wow.
I have hard-cooked eggs.
All right.
Why not? I'll take it out of the shell. Oh, you know what else I have in my nifty bag? I have artichokes.
They need to go in.
Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah. I like the Mediterranean thing happening here.
It might need some more olives.
Fantastic.
And I lost track of how many we added, so.
I lost track too. We were having so much fun.
Yes, we did so many rounds of this game.
We did. I love it. Do you play this game with your daughter?
Not the roulette, but I'm going to do this. This one, I'm going to take the polenta roulette with me.
Great. The polenta, can polenta?
Yeah.
Yeah?
She'll be like, "What's that?" And I'll have to explain. But,
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're about done because
Yeah.
frankly, I'm hungry.
It's lunch.
Yes, it's lunchtime. And we got to eat lunch before cake, or is that a rule that we break?
I think it's a rule that we break. Dessert before dinner.
Okay, we're going to do that. So we're going to cover this up and I'm just going to turn it off and we're going to see how our cake is doing. going to go like this. I'm going to shake it. Oh, no, I think I might be okay. And then I'm going to put the plate over it.
And flip it back?
Yeah.
So you need another plate then?
Oh, no. It will just, because it's an upside down cake.
Oh.
So you just flip it once.
Oh, okay.
Whoop. And then you go. It's a little hot. You do something magical.
You do dance.
You do a dance like this. You go like this. Yeah. And then, are you ready to come out? Oh.
Yay.
Oh.
It's you. Beautiful.
Oh. So it's not beautiful because I had the heat on a little too much, but I have a solution. Do you want to know what the solution is? This is cool. These are a little bigger. I like to use mini chocolate chips. And then I have an insulated bowl that traps in the heat. And it's going to melt the chocolate chips. And then you take a knife and you spread it and you have icing. So Lisa, while we're waiting, I want to ask, do you have a favorite food memory?
Favorite food memory? Well,
yes.
My family or my cousins owned an Italian restaurant.
Oh.
So my favorite food, it's actually memories.
Yeah.
Were because we would go down there a lot on the weekends. We would go down to the basement below where the restaurant was, and they would bring down all the food that they were serving in the restaurant. And so basically it was an all day like eating frenzy. So I just remember like hiding under the table. And my cousin, she had a muumuu on.
She had a muumuu?
She had a muumuu on because let's just say she was a little overweight because I guess spending days eating all day. She was Italian, so she loved food.
Gotcha.
And she'd say mangia, mangia all the time. So everyone would eat all the food. But I remember like I had gotten my hands on, if you weren't quick enough, you'd like miss getting the food. And then you'd have to wait till the next time they brought another batch down. Oh. I remember getting my hands on like a piece of, they had really good pizza. So that's why pizza is my favorite food.
Ah.
But I was under the table eating, and I remember being like 8 and being like, this is the best thing in the world, surrounded by like all these people, like manja manja above me eating pasta and whatever was in front of them. But it was like
the pizza. Such
family. Like just, the whole connection and family and eating and Italian families.
Yeah. I'm so glad you said that, because it's not just the food, it's the community, it's the family, it's a connection and sharing all of that.
Yes.
And that's how human culture developed and evolved. It was around the hearth, it's around the fire, it was around the kitchen table. And I think that's really important to keep in mind, because a lot of people these days don't cook at home. We're all busy, right?
Yeah, they eat out a lot.
But the engagement of being with your food and sharing it with people and being part of that whole process, which also, throw in some music and dance is even better.
Well, there was also Italian music on in the background.
Of course.
So, that makes sense if in the setting. Yeah. But nowadays, I don't eat under the table anymore, just to let you know, in case you were wondering. I, sit down with my family, and I do make sure that we have a rule that's turn your phones off.
That's a great rule.
So we do play a game though during it. It's in order to engage my daughter. We have to play the game, but we have a deck of cards, and each card has a question. So we go around and like she gets to ask me a question. She asks her dad a question. Like we exchange different questions with each other, but we talk about our day in that fashion. So it's not just like, how was your day today? Because most of the time people go, okay.
Fine.
And I look at my phone, so it's a really engagement because they're different questions that you wouldn't normally think to ask somebody.
Right. These fundamentals of conversation, really, and that's a wonderful thing to be doing around the table.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like, what is your favorite food memory? That's not a typical question. Like, you may say, what is your favorite food? But memory is a different response.
Yeah, and it brings up, it can lead to a whole conversation. Yeah. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah. Well, thanks for asking.
Yeah, you betcha. Shall we see how this cake is?
Oh. That looks so good.
It does look good. And then you go like this.
Oh, Hannah, I would not even have thought of
Yeah,
that.
right?
I would have just ate it with the chips on it.
Which would be fine too, but hey, this is frosting.
So you don't even need icing. You
You
don't
don't
need to
even
purchase
need
the
icing. Yeah, there you go. And then let's top it with some of the strawberries.
Okay. This is why we have dessert before our meal.
That's right. And we're going to have fun, so I'm going to make a smiley face because why not?
Oh, that's cute. I need to get a picture of that.
Oh, yeah. The perfect amount of strawberries. It all turned out beautifully.
I love it.
Look at our strawberry smiley face cake. It's totally silly, and we love it. We're going to eat it right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a piece of cake for you.
Oh, I'm
salad
excited.
cake.
Salad cake.
You
Let's
can-
see if I taste the salad.
That's right.
Oh, wow. Hannah, that is so good. Can't taste it.
You can't taste it. You can't taste broccoli no, or cabbage.
No.
And you know what? When you eat, because it's important to have fiber, when you're having sugar, it's going to keep your
Yep.
blood sugar from spiking. You're also getting all the nutrients, and you're also inclined to eat less because you're getting fuller.
Yes.
And when you eat like nutrient-dense desserts, because I love healthy desserts, I do like in another episode, cookie dough, like raw cookie dough, but with garbanzo beans, almond butter.
I want the recipe for that.
You betcha.
Hannah's
Maple
recipes.
syrup, chocolate chip, a dash of salt, a dash of vanilla if you want. And you just put it in the blender, and it's like cookie dough, but it's garbanzo beans. Yeah.
Do you bake it or you don't
Nope.
do that stuff? Oh,
You
wow.
could make it into cookies, but no, it's just eat raw. I eat it by the spoonful.
So it's safe, whereas like raw cookie dough, you're not supposed to really.
Exactly, because there's no flour, there's no eggs.
I cannot believe
It's just,
I don't taste any veggies in this.
I know, it's amazing, right?
It's crazy because
It's
I
a-
watched what you put in there. She's a whiz.
Yeah. Well, I can't take credit for this recipe, but I will. But I didn't invent it.
The strawberries.
And I've made it with different kinds of cake. Like I've made lemon blueberry cake. In the fall, I do pumpkin cake, pumpkin apple spice, and I'll put apples on the bottom with cinnamon.
So the base is always some type of.
Cake mix.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've used all.
But no, you layer the fruit at the bottom.
Yes, you
Okay.
put fruit on the bottom. I've made a pineapple in my kids' cooking classes. I make a pineapple upside
That's
down
my
cake.
favorite cake.
Oh, really? Yeah. You may
Besides
wanna,
chocolate.
Yeah. You just put the pineapple rings on the bottom, and you may want to add a little bit of pineapple juice if you want to the batter, in which case you do less vegetables. And same with lemon blueberry cake, if you're using, like we did with the egg, just be mindful of it not getting too wet. But you don't need to add water or oil.
I mean, we technically didn't even need the egg.
No, we didn't. If we had done it without the egg or the baking powder, it just would have been a little more gooey, but that's it.
It's delicious.
There you go.
Thank
There's
you.
your salad cake. You're welcome. Are you dying to know where I got my travel containers? Go to Dance and Dish on Patreon to find out where to purchase them and get a list of my favorite healthy eating travel tips. Look at that lovely one-pot roulette. Smells good. And I think we made the perfect amount for a little snack for two people.
A little lunch for two people.
A little lunch for two people. This is fantastic.
Oh, that's good. You're welcome here anytime, Hannah.
Okay.
You make me lunch, dinner, whatever.
Super fun, right? Mm-hmm. Well, I love to feed people. Lisa, thank you so much for being on Dancing in the Kitchen and inviting Dancing in the Kitchen into your kitchen.
Yes.
This has been a real treat.
Thank you so much for having me and the delicious food. I'm going to be eating it while everyone's watching the replay of this.
Fantastic. I love that. And if you are interested in hosting Dancing in the Kitchen in your business or home, reach out and let's talk about ways we can collaborate. You will definitely end up with some good leftovers.
Healthy living made easy. We cook it up and keep it breezy. From your kitchen to your plate, good vibes get away. Healthy living made easy. Taste the joy, it's all so cheesy.
Want to learn more about products featured on Dancing in the Kitchen? Visit danceanddish.com to get in touch, or join the Dance and Dish community on Patreon for behind-the-scenes content and exclusive details about our favorite